The U.S.-Iran talks appear to remain stalled as both countries continue to project opposing tones on the ongoing war. Tehran insists on steep conditions for progress, while U.S. President Donald Trump had repeatedly voiced optimism and is claiming a deal is about to happen soon. Following strikes by Iran that targeted U.S. bases in West Asia have reportedly increased the pressure on the U.S. president, as well as cast doubt on whether the ceasefire can hold. Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei has warned that the United States and Israel had been dealt a decisive blow in the war after the government reported no tangible progress in negotiations on ending the conflict. Weeks of talks marked by threats and flare-ups of tensions in the region have failed to secure a deal to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Referring to U.S. and Israel, Khamenei said that his country's enemies are experiencing a profound humiliation and accused them of seeking to plant the seeds of doubt and division among the public, calling for unity. Trump is under extreme pressure to find a way out of the war, which has been rolling global energy markets. But in spite of a ceasefire that has largely held since April, progress towards a final deal seems far from getting finalized due to sporadic episodes of violence, including on Wednesday when the U.S. struck targets in Iran, which responded with an attack on Kuwait. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has denied responsibility for an attack on Kuwait's international airport that officials said left an Indian national killed and 63 others wounded. The strike was part of the latest back-and-forth attack by Iran and the United States. Meanwhile, according to the Wall Street Journal, U.S. President Donald Trump has privately told aides that he would consider ending the ceasefire with Iran if Tehran becomes responsible for the deaths of American troops. According to the news report that cites U.S. officials, Trump's position indicates a reluctance to reignite broader military conflict with Iran, even as clashes continue. Officials suggest that Trump may be prepared to tolerate smaller flare-ups for weeks or even months, rather than risk a wider war in West Asia. Washington insists Tehran must turn over its near-weapon-grade enriched uranium, agree to curb its nuclear activities, and reopen the strategic Hormuz Strait. Iran, however, has long claimed a right to enrichment and has also preconditioned a deal on halting the parallel conflict in Lebanon. On Wednesday, Israel and Lebanon agreed to implement a ceasefire following negotiations in Washington aimed at ending the war that flared up alongside the war in Iran. The head of the Quds forces, which is the foreign arms of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards, has issued a fresh warning. It says that Israel must pull back from its current front lines in Lebanon, where it is fighting Iran-backed group Hezbollah. Whereas Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has warned that any attack on Beirut would trigger a full-scale resumption of the West Asia war. Araghchi said that Iran's armed forces are ready to strike Israel if it attacks the Lebanese capital.